In Part 3 of Module 10 on budgeting and sustainability, we'll discuss the executive budget compiled and submitted to the legislative body. Executives in state or local government review, alter, and compile all agency budgets before submitting their own budget for legislative consideration. Frequently, the executive has offered agencies some guidance in the preparation of their estimates, indicating the executive's priorities as well as expressing expectations about resource availability for the budget derived from the revenue forecast, and often for constituent parts of the budget as well. In many cases, state and local government agencies request resources that do not line up fully with executive expectations or preferences. Often adjustments are made prior to the submission of the budget to the legislative body in question, which reflects the executive's preferences and priorities. The elected executive authority must take into careful consideration the priorities of different levels of government, particularly when those levels of government mandate certain expenditures. Mandates may come with funding to support a priority or may be unfunded, meaning that the state and/or local government must carry the cost of complying with the mandate. For example, Congress might require all public agencies to provide easy access to the disabled in all public buildings. If funds are set aside for the reimbursement of costs incurred, this would be a funded mandate. If, on the other hand, few, if any, such funds are provided, this would be an unfunded mandate. In addition to mandates, the executive budget must also consider that certain public expenditures are directly related to entitlement programs. Entitlements require that government pay for certain individual needs of a beneficiary meeting a set of prerequisites. For example, indigent or poor people without private assets qualify for state medical benefits, usually in the form of Medicaid. The high cost incurred in meeting mandated and entitlement expenditures limit resources for the introduction of new cutting-edge policies related to sustainable communities and citizen-engaged governance. At the state and local level, the political executive usually enjoys the services of a staff budget officer and budget office. This executive staff office works with the agency budget personnel to adjust the expenditure estimates sent from the agencies, and it ultimately submits a compiled budget request to a legislative body for its consideration. The executive budget is usually submitted as a balanced budget with a discussion of expected revenues derived from the revenue forecast and a detailed accounting of expenditure priorities recommended for adoption. A budget is balanced when governmental expenditures are equivalent to revenues. In Part 4 of Module 10 on budgeting and sustainability, we'll discuss legislative deliberations and budget approval.